Welcome to Commander Quickies, where we take a specific aspect of Commander and we crunch it into a 5-minute easy to watch video. I'm Joe Cherish, the Nitpicking Nerds, and today we're going to be talking about Eternal Witness. The idea for this particular video came when we watched the Command Zone's newest video about the most overrated cards in all of Commander. Eternal Witness came up, and I could not agree less that this card is overrated. In fact, this card is possibly even underrated. Alright, let's do a little thought experiment. Think of any sorcery. I'll use Time Warp as mine. Add 1 colored mana to the spell's casting cost. So for Time Warp, I'll add 1 blue to it. But instead of being a sorcery now, it's a creature with the ETB that's ability is the same as the effect the sorcery had. Is this card better? Most likely, and most likely a lot better. The experiment is useful for showing the divide between creatures with ETB abilities and sorceries. Eternal Witness is often compared to regrowth, but the idea that these two are close in power level is just false. To showcase the power gap, I did a little research on EDH Rec to determine how many synergies the average deck has with Eternal Witness compared to regrowth. I took a look at 50 green commander decks with 50 different commanders, ranging from mono green decks to 4-color decks like Atraxa. Out of these 50 decks, on average, a deck had 15 synergies with Eternal Witness. As compared to regrowth, the average deck had half a card, or 1 in 2 decks had a synergy. Another statistic is that 28 out of the top 100 cards according to EDH Rec for Commander synergize with Eternal Witness. These cards aren't built around Witness, but are simply the most played cards in their colors for EDH. By the way, number 5 is Eternal Witness. A well-deserved spot. The fact is that Magic, or Commander specifically, promotes creature interaction over that of instants or sorceries. There are way more Raise Dead variants than there are Call to Mind variants, and every deck should be utilizing the graveyard. Because of this, creatures with similar abilities to spells will generally be better. That sounds obvious, but even seasoned players still underestimate the body. The ability to attack for 2 points of damage, block and gain 8 life, get bounced by an opponent's Cyclonic Rift, count 4 Undergrowth, make Blasphemous that cost 1 less, or take the Monarchy shouldn't be overlooked just because a sorcery does it for 1 cheaper. These scenarios only scratch the surface of what a 2/1 creature can do for you. Eternal Witness is the second most played green card in all of Commander, and it's well deserving of this spot. It is one of, if not, the best green card in all of Commander. Here's some cool things you can do with Eternal Witness. See how many of these things you've done before, and hopefully we can give you some new ideas on how to use this card. You can use it to make a land drop by getting back a fetch land. If it's later in the game, and you have lands like Cabal Coffers, Nykthos, and Skya's Cradle in your graveyard, get those back for a huge mana advantage. Use it with Deadeye Navigator and Time Warp to take unlimited turns and draw your whole deck. Paradox Engine, Eternal Witness, Cloud Shift, and any mana rocks that make at least 2 mana goes infinite. If it's in your graveyard, Reanimate can also be a regrowth, but also can save you life if you have enough mana and you want to reanimate a big fat fatty. You can set up a Living Death loop involving any number of nonsensical creatures and Eternal Witness. For example, Blood Artist plus Viscera Seer plus Eternal Witness plus Paragon Drake coming back from Living Death, use V-Witness to rebuy the Living Death and kill everybody. Cool mid-range things you can do that BZ discovered in his Carador deck. You can pot away Safi Eric's Daughter into Eternal Witness, rebuy the Safi Eric's Daughter, sack Safi, targeting Eternal Witness, then pot Eternal Witness into a 4-drop, have the Eternal Witness come back, getting back Safi, and play the Safi again, and have a ton of mid-range fun. Alurin and Cloudstone Curio with Eternal Witness and any other creature that costs 3 or less lets you turn your graveyard into your hand. If you have Omniscience in your graveyard, you can spend 13 mana to cast Eternal Witness and get your Omniscience back. With this combo, you now have Omniscience in play. So next time you have Eternal Witness in play, see how much that 2/1 does for you. You might be surprised. Thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed the video.